Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I've got the tank review for the brand new French Tier 8 Premium Medium tank, the Black Diamond Bourrasque, which is the skinned version of the Bourrasque for Pirate Week, but with a single shotgun as opposed to the double shot autoloader that the standard Bourrasque has. Now if you do like the video, as always, don't forget to like and subscribe down below, as it really does help out the channel. And yes, the Black Diamond, it's as good as the Bourrasque, to be honest. It just lacks that double tap power that the Bourrasque has. But in lieu of that, you get better penetration on this main gun. The gun is generally more accurate, which is nice. And then everything else about the tank generally is about the same as the Bourrasque. Which is why I say, if people say, is it better than the Bourrasque? No. No, it's not. Is it worse than the Bourrasque? No, I don't think it is. I think it's just a different flavour of that same power level as the Bourrasque. And it's one of those things that some people don't like autoloaders, and if they don't like autoloaders, they're more likely to like this vehicle, and if they prefer the autoloaders, they're probably going to like the Bourrasque. It's one of those things that, like I say, the differences between the two tanks mean that they're both on the same power level, but it's your preference as to how you prefer to play the vehicle. And the extra penetration that this thing gets on its gun is definitely a lot more helpful at times, because sometimes the Bourrasque does struggle with its penetration, especially if you're firing between the standard and the premium, whereas this has higher pen on its standard, higher pen on its premium, and that can help you a little bit more in the game generally. But in terms of the camo, the mobility, everything about the tank like that, it's basically the same. But yeah, it's a fully enjoyable vehicle. You can get it out of the new Pirate War Chest. Would I recommend you go try and get the Pirate War Chest to get this vehicle? No, because you're going to spend a lot of money, as that tank, those chests have exceptionally low drop weight for tanks. But the way that you might want to pick it up is through the store, where we've got it here for 11,500 gold, which is exceptionally expensive for a Tier 8 medium tank, because it is actually a massive bundle with loads of cosmetic vouchers and stuff like that as well. But it's really down to you how you want to pick that up. So, with the Black Diamond, it's got a 62 km/h top speed, a 23 km/h reverse speed, 310 horsepower engine, which is 25.77 horsepower per ton ratio, which means it flies to its top speed very, very easily. If you like the Bourrasque, you'll know exactly what this mobility is about. 20% internal fire chances on the high end of fire chances, and just like the Bourrasque, it does like getting set on fire if you get penned where the engine is. 42 degrees a second on the hull rotation speed means this tank does turn pretty quickly on its tracks, which is lovely, and ground resistances that don't hold the tank back whatsoever. They are fantastic ground resistances. 299 metres of still concealment is very, very nice for this vehicle, with 332 metres of on-the-move concealment. That's pretty decent as well. If you run silent driving, you'll get that down towards where that still concealment value is, and if you're running the camo net and the camo skills, etc., you're getting it down to like 244 metres of still concealment, which is absolutely fantastic for this vehicle. 40 degrees a second on the turret rotation speed means the turret does turn slightly slower than the tracks though, so do be careful of that. A 1.48 accuracy during rotation with a 2.98 accuracy during movement really isn't that good at all, and it means the aim circle does bloom out a fair bit, but if you run all three gun perks, you will get it down to a decent enough level that even without a gun stabilizer, you can bear with it to make everything else about the tank generally better, like the camo, for example. But it's going to be a personal preference on this vehicle as opposed to whether you take the camo net or the gun stabilizer, because the gun might annoy you, you might want to take the gun stabilizer, whereas you might feel that that little bit worse gun handling is bearable for having that phenomenal camo that you can get here on the Black Diamond and like the Bourrasque. You've got a 0.37 accuracy at 100 metres as well, which is on the derpier end of accuracy, but again, when you're running all the gun perks, the accuracy was really pretty good for this vehicle. 2.5 second aim time is quite long, and I think you knock it down to about 2.3 second aim time, which you will feel, but generally it's not that bad on the Black Diamond. I don't know what it is about the gun in general, but I thought it'd be way worse without the gun stabilizer, and it was pretty decent for me without it. You got 6 degrees of gun depression, which is pretty not great, but you are a very low to the ground tank in general, so you don't feel it that badly, but if you want to fight on a ridgeline, you are going to have to overexpose yourself quite a lot to be able to get the gun down on target. A 10.7 second reload now is poor, with 1.8k DPM. I think when you get it fully kitted out, it's about 2.4k DPM for 320 Alpha, which, yeah, 2.4k DPM in this day and age of Tier 8 is not that great for 320 Alpha, when you consider that quite a few 300 320s are, and especially in the German ones, for example, are pushing 3k DPM, 3.1k DPM in that region. So you've got a lot less than them. You're more in line with the APM X30, which has about 2.5k DPM as well for the same alpha. You know, it's one of those where the DPM isn't that great on the Black Diamond. You got 215 penetration on the standard APCR, with 265 pen on the premium APCR, and 53mm of HE pen, which can be useful for going through some of the lightly armoured targets like artillery for 420 damage, 320 alpha on the 2 standard and premium rounds, 1,115 meters a second shell velocity on the standard APCR, with 1,275 meters a second shell velocity on the premium APCR, which, for velocity for an APCR round, the premium velocity is pretty good, and it's above average on the standard APCR, which means that it's pretty decent. You do have to give a fair bit of lead at distance to hit your targets with the standard, but with the premium, it's not too bad at all. And again, you will feel a difference in that velocity when you load the premium APCR. And you've got a 150% silver earn rate, which means this tank does make decent silver, as it is a tier 8 premium, but it's not the best silver earner in the universe. And you do have 390 meters of view range as well, which you can get up to just around 500 meters, I think it is, or just over 500 meters of view range, which is really, really good and will help you spot like a light tank, because that's the way the Black Diamond plays. It is a pseudo scout. It can play like a light tank, but also as a medium tank in regards to its firepower. So let's have a quick look at the modules for this vehicle, and as you can see, that's where the engine block is for the Black Diamond. If you get shot through the drive wheel on the left, you're likely to have your engine damaged, and if you get shot anywhere in this back end where this engine is, you're likely to get set on fire. That's where the ammo racks are for the tank. If it gets shot through the front, it's likely going to get its ammo rack damaged. Shot in the sides or the back of the turret, you're likely to get the ammo rack damaged. Generally, though, I haven't had the ammo rack damaged that much on this vehicle. For saying how big and easy it is to hit these ammo racks, in my experience in the 15 to 20 games I've played, it's not been that bad. And that's where the crew sits in the Black Diamond as well. And in terms of the armour, yeah, it's a Batchat 12T chassis with a Bourrasque turret. It's got no armour. It's a light tank. It's essentially a light tank in medium tank clothing. Well, a light tank with a medium tank gun. And it's got no armour. Don't expect it to bounce anything unless you hit the gun, which can bounce things because, yeah, if you hit the gun, naturally, it's a gun module, it'll not take damage. But generally, don't expect it to bounce anything. So what do I run in terms of a crew and equipment? Well, I have got that crew in there, so let's put it into the Black Diamond. Fairly standard medium tank crew, born leader, rapid reload, 6th sense, situational awareness, run and gun, steady aim, camouflage expertise, silent driving, and snapshot. All 3 perks to make sure that this gun is as good as possible, because we're not going to be running the gun stabilizer, the camouflage expertise, and the silent driving to just get the camouflage on this tank down as low as possible, and to get the camouflage while on the move down as low as possible, so we can be that sneaky scout that we want to be at times in the Black Diamond, which it can be so effective at doing. Because this tank is one of those that is so great at flipping between being a damage dealer of a medium tank and playing like a scout and going and scouting for your team and taking up those aggressive bush locations to passive scout as well, which is lovely for the Black Diamond. And in terms of the equipment, I do run food as always because it just buffs everything up. The advanced loader, the camo net, and optics. Optics, you want to get that 499 meters of view range. That's what we got up to. 499 meters of view range, which is great for being able to spot for yourself and get some good assistance damage games. The camo net to get the concealment down to 244 meters of still concealment, which is fantastic. Really helps us keep unspotted at times in this tank and makes it a super stealthy tank. And the advanced loader to get the best out of the DPM, as the DPM is really not very good on this vehicle, so you want to help out as much as humanly possible. But again, this is one of those things that is going to be a personal preference, because you could quite easily drop the camo net if you wanted to, run the gun stabilizer, and you'll get it up to 283 meters of still concealment still with the crew in it. And then your accuracy during rotation and movement will be a hell of a lot better, meaning it can hit shots on the move that little bit easier. But for me, I prefer that filthy camo it can get down, as it really saves you in so many situations. And it's one of those tanks that doesn't like getting spotted, because as soon as you get spotted and shot at, you will blow up. So it's nice to be able to get that concealment down. That's how I prefer it. So let's have a look at the statistics. Now it's fully kitted out. So as you can see, the top speed, we've not really helped it out too much, but it still gets up to that top speed really, really easily. The concealment is now at 244 meters of still concealment, 256 on the move concealment, 499 meters of view range, which means that you can spot for yourself really, really well, and it's going to be very, very difficult to be able to spot you as well unless you fire the gun. 43.44 degrees a second on the turret rotation speed now means that the turret does actually traverse faster than the tracks, which is lovely for the Black Diamond. 0.9 accuracy during rotation with a 2.13 accuracy during movement. Now, the 0.9 accuracy during rotation is neither good nor bad, but the accuracy during movement at 2.13 isn't that great. But as a pair, it means the aim circle does bloom out a fair bit, and with the 2.3 second aim time that you now have, you do feel that aim time in trying to get it to aim in and get the shots down range. But like I say, the way that I tend to play it, I tend to be pulling up into a position where I can spend time aiming because I'm unspotted in a stealthy position and I can fire. So I don't feel like it's that bad for me personally. But again, it's going to be a personal preference thing, that. And you've got 0.3 accuracy at 100 meters, which is very good. It's very accurate. It means this gun will hit the shots most of the time if you're fully aimed, which is lovely. 7.8 second reload, though, like I say, is 2.4k DPM, which is quite low for the DPM of a tier 8 medium tank these days. And yeah, you'll feel it, the fact that the reload is just that little bit slow for 320 Alpha. And the reason I say that is because if we were to go to tier 8 mediums and say go to the Germans, for example, I mean, you got, yeah, 280 Alpha here, Panther 80, well, Panther 2, sorry, 3.1k DPM. There's 300 Alpha on the Mutts. It's got 3k DPM. You've got an Indian Panzer, which is another Tech Tree one, right? That's 3k DPM as well. The Indian Panzer is a lot better these days. It's actually a pretty solid medium tank. But you get my point. There's quite a few tanks out there that are a lot faster rate of fire. Even a Pantera these days reload has around that DPM area. And the Pantera is really good now, actually, after it's been buffed. But anyway, I digress. So, that's the statistics of the Black Diamond. I'm going to have a look at the Bourrasque now, because, naturally, it's the big comparison. It's the skinned version of the Bourrasque, but you've lost that double-tap autoloader. So, as you can see here, so you can pause and have a look, if you want to pause and have a look at the statistics of each of the two tanks. Yeah, you've got that 2.3... So, we're going to have a look at this first. 0.9 accuracy during rotation, with a 2.13 accuracy during movement. If we're to go look at the Bourrasque, which has a gun stabilizer on it, and the same crew setup, it's 2.38 accuracy during movement and 1.08 accuracy during rotation. That is a lot worse. It's a lot worse than the Black Diamond. And a 2.95 second aim time as well, instead of a 2.3 second aim time. So that is a bit of the trade-off with the vehicle, is you lose that double tap autoloader with the Black Diamond, but you gain a hell of a lot of gun handling. And the gun handling becomes a hell of a lot better, as well as the fact that you also have 190 pen and 240 on the premium on this vehicle, whereas you have the 215 penetration on the standard APCR and 265 on the premium on the Black Diamond, which means the penetration is also a lot better. So the general gun handling and the general feel of the gun is a lot better on the Black Diamond than it is on the Batchat Bourrasque. But the Batchat Bourrasque has 360 Alpha, as opposed to the 320 of the Black Diamond. And it has that double tap autoloader, which dishes out that damage of 720 very, very quickly. And you go bang, bang, and you can get out of dodge, which is definitely nice, as it's a little bit slower to push out the damage. It's more consistent, but a little bit slower to push out the damage in the Black Diamond than it is here in the Bourrasque. As you can see, the shell velocity here is also slower on the standard and slower on the premium for the Bourrasque as opposed to the Black Diamond, which is why I say that this vehicle is on the same level as the Bourrasque, but it's different trade-offs. And they both play very, very similarly, but instead of this thing being that double-tap assassin, or the Black Diamond being that double-tap assassin, like this vehicle is, you're a bit more slower, calmer, and considered in the way you're putting out your damage, with the consistency of pushing out the damage out of that 105mm gun, as opposed to this thing going, hi friend, bang, bang, pull back. If you get my point. So, I think, for me personally, they're both at the same point. It's just slightly different ways of playing the vehicle, and I feel like each vehicle will suit different people differently. That's the way I think about these two vehicles. But there we go. So that's the Black Diamond. What I'm going to do now is send you into some replays where you can watch this tank in action, see how it handles, see if it's a bit of you or not, and yeah, just see how it goes. So as always, everybody, I will see you in the replays. So here we are in the replays with the Black Diamond, and this first game we're here on this map, which is Pearl River. And on Pearl River, what I want to do in this tank is go to the 1-2 line, where I can spot people as they cross up the 2-3. I can also shoot maybe people that go sit at F4. I can also spot their TDs that do sit at E2 as well. And since this tank is stealthy enough to be able to poke through the bushes and not get spotted, you can do that quite easily in this vehicle. Like I say, you can play this thing like a pseudo-scout, because that's the way it wants to play, just like the Bourrasque. If you need to go spot like a light tank, you can do it pretty easily. You've got the good mobility at 62 kilometers an hour, you've got the fantastic view range, you've got the great camo, so you can do it really easily. And as you've just seen, we can outspot light tanks as well, although that is a tier 7 light tank. But yeah, so you play this thing like a pseudo-scout. If you see it like it's a medium tank and you think you have to go brawling in it, or it should have armor because it's a medium tank, no, that's not the way it is. It is a scout tank, but in medium tank gunpowder. That's the way it rolls. So, we're here on Pearl River in this position now and the 2 line. We've caught out this Rhino who's crossing in the open, just looking for that lower plate shot, but I see the Panther, and the Panther was a better opportunity to track and pen that guy. Why did I go for him rather than the Rhino? Well, the Rhino obviously is a bit more of a trickier pen, but also I could track and pen him, keep him pinned in place, which is what's happened, and he's lost pretty much most of his hit points, and that would be a gun out of the game. Trying to get a shot now into the little light tank as well, because he's the one that keeps spotting me as I poke around to shoot these blokes. So if we can get rid of the light tank, great times as well. Get the gun loaded in, finish off the Panther there. We get lucky in that the TL1 LPC only tracks us with a heat round, which is lucky for us, but at the same time it's a heat round into spaced armor, which is why it just got absorbed, because, you know, spaced armor and heat rounds don't mix well together. So we're just going to poke around the corner, see if we can spot any of their camping TDs. We don't, but we see the Rhino is progressing along the flank. So we're just going to go for that tracking shot. We do track and pen the Rhino. Thankfully, we get missed by him as well. At least he tries to snap the shot into us. We know we've got a better reload, and we finish off the Rhino there with a shot through the lower plate. We're up to 1638 assistance damage with 1105 damage. Waiting to get unspotted before I decide to poke out around the corner to see if we can spot anyone else. But I just sort of hung my ass out into the breeze there to see if I got detected, because there might have been something around that corner that I couldn't see unless I drove all the way around the corner, but they could see me if they tried to shoot at me, using the detected to my advantage. And with that, the detector did go off, and I went, oh, there is a tank around that corner, so I wait for the reload to poke round, and it was the little light tank. We get fortunate in the fact that the Tiger 1 misses us, but I actually don't think that the Tiger 1 shot at us there. I think he shot at someone else. We're going to drive round the side here to get a shot into the side of his turret, finish him off, and then load premium so that we've got the 265 penetration to go through these terrapins. Because 215 pen on the standard APCL, sorry, is going to be a bit of a struggle to go through these terrapins. So I'm going to try and find a better angle to try and get rid of this light tank. Can't quite do it. Just trying to find the shot into the lower plate of the terrapin. But we don't quite have the gun depression for that shot. So we have to go all the way over to get a shot into his lower plate. But we used the advantage of the fact that he'd just fired to be able to take the time to do that. But it's a bit awkward, as you can see, with the gun depression on the brass not being able to quite get it. We managed to get the shot into the side of the terrapin, though, to shut him down, and I decided, okay, I'm going to move forward and get into the dip on my right. The other terrapin puts a shot in, so I'm going to take the time here to get the shot into his lower plate, so we could put him down to a one-shot, but we bounced. And he managed to get 2 whole shots into us there, which puts us down to 586 hit points, which is very, very awkward indeed. As we come over the top next to this rock, we actually get detected, and something manages to put a shot into us, leaving us on 295 hit points. The moment we got detected, we probably should have pulled back that little bit quicker, but since we were too slow to react to it, we ended up taking a hit, meaning we're a one-shot now for that terrapin, so I don't want to drive around the corner in front of him, as he will just end up shutting us down. So we're taking the low road to get around behind that terrapin and the other TD that's there, and as we come around that corner, we end up finding the TL1 LPC from earlier. We go for the shot into his back end, but we end up missing there. Bit of poor aim, we aimed a little bit too low and a little bit too far to the left, so we weren't fully aimed either, so that's why it missed. We're going to try and angle for a shot, though, into this TL1 LPC, but he just gets himself behind the building and into the dip where we can't quite find the shot. We get the shot into the side of the beach party there, which is definitely the tank that shot us earlier for 280-odd damage, and unfortunately, we only did track damage. We just about avoid a shot from the Chrysler K while getting a shot into his side, because we realised just in time, and we're just going to see if we can find a shot into him, but we can't, and it's now been about being patient, generally. We don't want to be too aggressive, as we'll just get shut down. The TL1 LPC is trying to run away. Not today, my son. Get out my game. As we shut down the TL1 LPC there with the shot. The Chrysler K drives sideways on, so we punish him for that as well. We're up to 5 kills with 2.8k damage, 2.4k assistance damage. The Earthshaker looks like he wants to drive out sideways on, but we can't find the shot into him because he manages to get... Well, he takes a hit, and that makes him go, oh no, I can't do that. So we unfortunately don't get that shot. We're just going to try and find a cheeky shot through the gap there at the beach party, but Sadly, we hit the building in front of us. Can't find a shot into that beach party as he gets back round the corner in front of our hammer. And there's just the 2 tanks left on the enemy team who were both in the middle area of this map, which is Pearl River. And so we're going to use the mobility of this vehicle to get up on this ledge. Now, you've got to be going quick to get up this ledge here, as it's quite easy to not get up it. And we just about get up on top, so we can now get behind this Earthshaker, try and get a free shot of damage into him, which will be glorious, and, you know, just get that little bit extra. But unfortunately for us, the SFAT 105 goes, "Hi friend, I have a double-barrel cannon!" and double barrels him, so we don't get any more damage in that game. But we finish with the victory, the 5 kills, 2.8k damage, 2.6k assistance damage, the second class with the 1875 base XP. A pretty good game there for the Black Diamond while top tier, and just showing off realistically a fairly average damage score in general, but we got the good kills and the assistance damage to pump up that base XP. But I think that showed off generally all the good and the bad of the tank, where the gun handling at times can be a bit wonky, like the shot on the Terrapin. The mobility is lovely, the camo is great, you can stay unspotted in so many different situations, but as soon as you get spotted and people start taking shots at you, your HP vanishes very, very quickly. But now we're on to the second replay, and we're here on this map, which is Kaunas, and on Kaunas we are bottom tier, we're against tier 10s, not the best matchup in the universe, and what we want to do is go push into the little position in front of us over here so that we can try and spot the cross area along the AB line, because if we get to this little position here on this ledge, we can actually spot any of their team that decide to cross up the AB line, and if we've got enough people shooting, hopefully that will feed us some assistance damage. Or, like what's happened with this 13105, we managed to catch him off guard. Oh, he managed to snap the shot into us, same as we snapped the shot into him. But he seems to be the only one that's gone along this AB line, but we keep lighting him up, which is making it difficult for him to try and escape. So if we can get rid of that tier 10 light tank, that would be great. We're just sad times that he ended up managing to snap a shot into us there the instant we got spotted. But we did the same to him, so can we really complain? So I'm just waiting for this 13105 to run away, which he does. Poor shot, though, means that we end up missing the shot on that 13105. Just going to wait for the reload, stay safe ourselves so that he doesn't manage to get the shot into us. If he decides to run away, he takes a big hit, so I'm fully expecting that guy to now try and run. And if he does, I'm fully ready for him. We spot him up, get the shot there, into the 13105 to finish him off. And that's a tier 10 light tank out of the game. We just completely got rid of that guy, which is great, because we could outspot him, we have the better camo, and then, yeah, we managed to get the kill on him as well, which is even better. So we're going to get up behind this 5120 now and the Panther to try and get rid of them. We know the 5120 has already unloaded his clip, so we managed to finish off the 5120 with a shot to the rear. We're up to 1,019 damage with 396 assistance damage. Something shot at me from over in that direction where I just pinged. We got lucky that it hit the dead Panther and not us, so we didn't lose a load of hit points, which is fine. We're going to back up around the corner to see if we can light it up while trying to get a shot at them. We see the chisel, but we can't quite find a shot into the chisel as he would just pull him back at the wrong time for us. Centurion gets... Look for the shot into the lower plate of the SMV CC67, but like I say, this gun can be derpy at times if you don't let it fully aim in. Once you get it fully aimed in, it's fine. But if you have to sit and wait that little bit extra longer to aim it, like we did there, a lot of the time it can end up going either way and you end up missing the shot, which can be a bit frustrating for you. Which is where I say that the preference for the equipment setup can be completely down to you. Because you might be like me, where I just accept that that gun handling could do that at times, so that I can have that phenomenal camo. But you might not like that, and you might decide, okay, you know what, I've already got really good camo. If I don't run the camo net, I'll just run the gun stabilizer, and therefore I'll have the really good gun handling all the time. So it's down to you and personal preference. So we get up behind the chisel, get a shot into his side. Unfortunately, don't quite get the reload in time to finish him off, to pick up his Lever Schleilos medal. But it's great that the tier 10 medium tank is out of the game. Most of their team is in this town area trying to progress out of it. We don't really have to worry about a cap, though, thankfully, because it is team destruction. So we just need to put ourselves in a flanking position, a position where we're going to be able to get damage into these guys, but also stay safe. Because what we don't want to do is drive around the corner, find a tier 9 or a tier 10 heavy tank that says, "Hi, friend, you will struggle to pen me a little bit. You're going to have to aim for my weak spot." I won't struggle to pen you. And they'll... destroy our health, which we don't want. So we're just going to be as careful as possible. We're trying to stay along the edges, make it so that if I do find anything a little bit too close, I can run away. But we found the back of a tiger mouse. So we get a shot into the back of the tiger mouse who's just trying to progress along. But sadly for me, he just gets himself behind cover where we can't quite find the shot. There's a progetto behind this wall. So what I'm going to do is turn so that I'm reversing out to try and get shots into this progetto, who is now a one-shot, the Progetto 54. But if I need to run away and go forwards, I can get away a lot quicker. So we aim the shot into his lower plate, end up finishing him off for our third kill of this game with 1791 damage. They've got 5 tanks left on their team. There's the T114 battalion, the other medium tank as well. So we're just going to aim the shot. Oh my lord, he gets rammed. Put the shot into his lower plate as he got absolutely rammed. The Leopard 1 is a position where we could possibly get a shot into him as well, but, well, he's been ridden. Oh my lord, this is not a PG-13 replay. Good lord. That poor guy, as he just got absolutely wrecked by that T-32A. So we don't get any damage into him. We're up to 2.1k damage, 396 assistance damage. We're going to go try and get around the side of this Badger. The remaining E100 is also on the left, which is a little bit awkward. But with the E50 closing down, I think, okay, that E100 is going to be preoccupied with that guy. The Badger's already fired, so I get up alongside him. We bounce off his side. The E100 is staring at us. You can see my awareness there go, absolutely not. We get the Badger between me and this E100, so he can't actually shoot at me. The Badger is now in a position where I can just happily farm away. I try and track and pen him in the rear, because I think maybe I'll get some extra damage, but I'll also get tracking assist. The Guerrilla fires heat into his side, so it gets absorbed. We keep him pinned with a shot into his drive wheel, and we track and pen that Badger there to be able to secure the 2.8k damage with 616 assistance damage. And we're finished with the victory. The 3 kills, the 2.8k damage, 616 assistance damage. We ended up getting the 3rd class as well for the vehicle there in a tier 10 lobby with that 1588 base XP. A pretty good game there for the Black Diamond in a poor matchup, but again, a fairly average result in the end for it. But you've got the ability to have the effect no matter the matchup for this vehicle. Because you have that fantastic camo, you can play quite easily like a light tank if you need to, and when you can't really go after many of the tier 10s with your pen. But then you've got the nice alpha damage, and like I said, the decent premium pen as well. I mean, you can pen most vehicles. You just got to play like that Pseudo Scout, that support vehicle around the periphery, and that's where you're going to do the best for the Black Diamond. So we're on this 3rd replay. In this 3rd replay, we are in a tier 9 lobby, and we're here on this map, which is Corellia, which is going to give us the opportunity to play like a scout tank. So what we're going to do is play like an aggressive scout tank, where we can get into a position to be able to try and spot the enemy team and get damage where we can. So we end up finding the 1375, although we didn't spot him, someone else did. We're going to try and fire at him through this bush to see if we could stay unspotted, but, well, unfortunately, it's not quite worked out for us. We get ourselves behind this rock here, which is where it's why I fired at that guy, because I thought, well, if I do get spotted, I've got the perfect cover to go get myself safe anyway, so it'll be fine. And we did manage to get ourselves safe behind this rock without managing to find the shot in to shut down that 1375, sorry, which is sad times. But we really want to get rid of that scout tank, because if we decide to go try and find their guys in their spawn area, we're going to have a bit of trouble with not getting spotted, because he'll probably keep spotting us up. So we swivel around him to a position where it's easier for us to run away again if we get spotted with the shot into the Tiger 1, which we do. And with that, that's where the benefit of turning around got us safe. And it's something that I'd always recommend for you in your Black Diamond, is always think about where you're going to run away to. I felt like I was going to get spotted possibly with the shot into that Tiger. We just blind fired someone there. But I always felt like I was possibly going to get spotted firing at that Tiger 1. So I positioned myself in a way that it was going to be me getting away really, really quickly if I needed to, and that's what happened. But we took a shot at that Tiger 1. And the shot looked like it went perfectly true for the Tiger 1. But it didn't. Because we didn't damage the Tiger 1, but we definitely shot something else, which is quite funny. That teeth breaker is definitely coming for us. I see that teeth breaker and I'm like, no, absolutely not. I don't want to get pew-pewed by that dude. So I'm just trying to get away from him if humanly possible, because, well, it's just going to be a bad time for us if he does end up trying to get the shots in. But now he's a one-shot. And with him being a one-shot, I want to get after him and finish him off. Because, like I say, you know, that Pew Pew is deadly to us. If we just allow him to live, it's not going to go well if he just manages to get the drop on us. So we're going to try and close him down, see if we can get into a position to get some shots into him, and we get into a position where I think I might find him, and sadly, no. I didn't expect the Skoda T50 to drop down like he did either, which means that I'm now in a bit of an awkward position. I'm sitting here going, oh no, this is awkward, because he can just close me down, and I don't want that. That teeth breaker could appear out of nowhere as well, and again, we don't want that. So we get the shot in that puts the Skoda T50 down to a one-shot. We hit that on the move, which is nice. The teeth breaker is also a one-shot, so we tried to hit him on the move, but we miss. We're now unspotted, so thankfully we're not going to take any hits from those guys. It's 10-7, so we are starting to win. The Skoda T50 gets shut down by the M46 Patton. The Centurion 7-1 is up on top of the hill, which means I can't quite find any shots into him. So I want to try and go after him, but at the same time, I kind of want to find RT, or what I want to do is go around the low ground, go along the D-line, get up behind their heavy tanks that are pressuring my 3-4 heavy tanks and TD, and then cause confusion, get a crossfire, that sort of thing. Because if I start shooting at these guys, I'm either going to get free damage, and they're just going to be too focused on what's going off in front of them, or they're going to turn around and try and come after me. And if they turn around and try and come after me, that's great, because that means they stop focusing on the dudes in front of them. But we managed to catch out Mr. Teethbreaker, finally. Get the shot in to finish off the Teethbreaker. He only got a couple of shots into us. We're going to now back up round the corner again, so we can try and find some shots into the back of the heavy tank that's left down here, which is the IS-32. So we get ourselves into that position now where we can see the back of the IS-32, aim up the shot to try and track and pen him, and thankfully, even though we didn't fully aim it, it went true. This is where the reload feels that little bit slow, though, because you sit there going, come on, come on, come on. There we go. We get the shot into the back of him, set him on fire. My team's driving around to get after him. We should realistically have started moving by now to try and get after the Centurion 7-1, because I never felt like we were ever really going to get the extra shot into that guy. But there we go. We're up to 3.1k damage with a 2.1k assistance damage, and the Centurion 7-1 gets shut down by the Fraternity. And we finished the game with a Ridnos total there for the Black Diamond Bourrasque. We finished with the epic victory, 2 kills, 3.1k damage, 2.1k assistance, that's 5k combined, with the third class and the 1537 base XP. Again, a pretty good game there for the vehicle in a tier 9 matchup. Again, showing off the capabilities of it in that scout role, where you can go spotting for your team, try and get that assistance damage, but then you can turn into that damage dealer where you need to and have that nice damage output for the Black Diamond. But now we're on to the fourth and final replay for the Black Diamond, and we're here on this map, which is Mountain Pass. And on Mountain Pass, we're going to become a Black Diamond sandwich, apparently. Yeah, I assure you, a tank doesn't taste good in a sandwich. No. Not that I've tried it. Although I imagine it tastes dusty and diesely or petrol-y. Yeah. But digressions! We're here on this map, which is Mountain Pass. On Mountain Pass, what I'm going to do is come to these bushes here on the cross so that I can try and spot people that cross the line that you're seeing here on the H line, and you can get free shots into them quite easily as well. And because the camo is so good on the Black Diamond, you can stay unspotted really easily while also firing at these guys. We end up missing the shot on that SVAC, and I was looking at it, I was a bit confused there because I fired the shot, missed the SVAC, but I still got a damage ribbon and did damage, and I was sitting there going, eh? How did I do that? And it was actually, there was an SVAC behind the other SVAC that I ended up penning, which is quite funny. So we're up to 657 damage with 743 assistance. And again, you saw the benefit of having that filthy camo here on the Black Diamond. The fact that those guys couldn't see me while I farmed is glorious. And we do get a shot there in to finish off the SVAC as well. We're up to 845 damage with 743 assistance damage. I'm just waiting to get them spotted so I can poke around that corner again and try and spot the guys around that corner. And there we go. We find the 45 TP, aim the shot up, put it through his upper plate. Would have been great to get the T-34-85 there to, you know, get a gun out of the game, but it is what it is. So we're just going to wait in the bush to see if they decide to poke around the corner, but they seem to be running away. Caught the MT-25 out, though, so we get the MT-25 out of the game too, and we're up to 2 kills with a 1352 damage. So now we're going to go help out the guys on this corner down at J4, because they seem to have found some friends. So what we want to do is get along the back ridge little area that there is here on this corner fight, because that way we can get ourselves safe behind this little ridge here, poke out, shoot people as they poke around the corner at J34, and as you can see, we've positioned ourselves to run away in the perfect position in case it gets too dicey too quickly. As I feel like that's the way it's going to go, as they've got a couple of tier 8s around that corner. The little tier 6 VK3001P's been shut down. There's a light tank with me, and we're kind of alone. So I need to be prepared and ready to go, okay, I need to get out of dodge, goodbye now. So we're just watching the corner. The SVAC drives round. We get the shot into track and well, we didn't even track him, but we penned the SVAC. And what I really want to do is try and chance it to get the shots into this guy to just try and get rid of him if I can. He ends up hitting us with one of his shots, sadly, which knocks us down some hit points, but hey-ho, we got a shot into him, so it is what it is. The Mantis looks like he wants to drive around the corner, and at this point, again, I'm starting to think, oh, I don't like this. I'm in a position where I'm having to take pot shots at tanks that can be a bit of a pain to pen, like the Mantis, as you've just seen me bounce off the turret of the Mantis. And yeah, they're not going to struggle to pen us. So I decide, okay, forget this corner fight. I don't want to be any part of it. What we're going to do is go after the Bourrasque behind us, because we don't want a tank behind us like the Bourrasque, because that's going to really hurt us. So we just need to get ourselves into a position where we can get shots into him, but also get safe ourselves a little bit, because we don't want to take 2 hits from him. But we know the Bourrasque has fired, so we want to try and close the distance, see if we can get any cheeky shots into him. And there we go, the Bourrasque is running away. We try and get the shot into him on the move. We miss, he misses, just waiting on the reload. Now we know he's fired both. I can take the opportunity to drive around and aim this shot, which we do, putting the shot into the side of that Bourrasque, putting us up to 2.2k damage with 1,077 assistance damage. And the Bourrasque is now running away to the TDs. So what we're going to do is get behind this little ridge line here, because again the Bourrasque is small enough that we can stay safe behind this little ridge line, but put ourselves in the perfect ambush position to get shots into their tanks as they drive around that corner at H1. And it's all about putting defensive lines in, and that's what we're trying to do. We've fallen back to the next defensive line where we can sit and wait, put shots into their team, and then get ourselves safe, as we put a shot there into the lower plate of the Mantis as he drove around that corner. Again, it's going to be a bit difficult for them to get shots into us. We tried to get shot into the SVAC there. The Mantis missed, but we ended up bouncing off the Mantis instead of getting the kill or some damage into the SVAC, which is really, really unfortunate there, but hey-ho. But we do get the shot into that SVAC this time, put him down to a potential, well, put him down to a one-shot for us, which is great. So we're just waiting for these guys to drive around the corner so that we can try and either finish one of them off or then, again, see what happens. So we've got the VK3002D that's also a one-shot. I'm going to try and go get him, but the Jagdpanzer, Mr. Jagdpanzer 4 drives around the corner, giving us an easy kill. We notice the Bourrasque has come back around the corner, though. We'd notice it on the map as soon as he gets spotted, so we're just going to poke out and see if we can get a shot into him. The Mantis has driven out around the other side as well, which distracted me. Get the shot into the turret of the Bourrasque. The Bourrasque puts a shot into us, but we can take it. We've got the hit points. So now that the Bourrasque have fired and the Mantis is on fire, I decided, okay, I'm going to join my 1357 friend in getting rid of the Bourrasque. Because again, we want the double tap autoloader to be gone. We know that the 1357 is going to get a lot of shots into him while he's using that clip. And there we go. We secure our 4th kill of this game to put us onto 4 kills with 3.8k damage and 1,077 assistance damage. Some of their team are starting to progress now into our cap area, and that makes me concerned that the enemy team might start capping, and we don't really want that. And while I could go after the Mantis and the SVAC, which I'm pretty sure are both now one-shots, we can't let the enemy team cap. That would just be a bad, bad time. And I'm fully expecting these guys to just drive around this corner, but that's not quite happened. The 1375 is not a one-shot for us, so we do have to be careful of that guy, because he's going to take at least 2 shots to kill him. The Hydra's a one-shot for us, which is great. So we aim up the shot, try and get it into the 1375, but that's where not having the gun stabilizer impacts us a little bit, because it means that we can't quite get the shot into him snap that easily. The Hydra looked like he wanted to come after us there, but he's not got the gun depression to hit that kind of shot, so thankfully he didn't get it. They've got that guy. We just have to take the risk. We've got to go around and get rid of whatever is capping. And in fact, it's a Minuteman. So I'm just looking for the shot into wherever I can. Thankfully, he ends up missing. And I didn't realise, and you saw the boo-boo there, I didn't realise that I'd run out of standard APCR, because I wasn't paying as much attention at it. I didn't realise I was already on the premium APCR, and I'd loaded the premium APCR to be able to get a shot into the Minuteman. But we'd loaded HE instead, so we splashed the Minuteman. That 1375 tried to get around us. He unfortunately got a couple of shots into us, which means we're now a one-shot for everything, which just makes it a little bit awkward. The BZ-176 gets shut down by an SVAC from behind us. We know the Hydra had fired. We tried to snap the shot into his lower plate, but we missed. We're just going to use the mobility of the Black Diamond to get around the side of the Hydra, and we secure the kill on that guy for our 7th kill of this game. And it's now a 1 versus 4 for us here, which is just that little bit awkward at 4.7k damage and 1077 assistance. Because the shot came in from behind us, I was fully expecting that SFAC to appear. And the sad thing is, at this point, I'd actually forgotten that the Mantis and the SFAC are both one-shots for us. I couldn't remember what HP they had, so I'm just going to have to play as cautiously as humanly possible. So instead of going around that corner to see if I can find the SFAC or the Mantis, I'm going to drive around towards their cap area to see if I can find the artillery, get rid of him, maybe find anything that's camping over in that direction as well. And this is where the mobility of the vehicle is nice. It's one of those things that, because we've got the mobility, we can play these kinds of flanking plays, the searching flanking plays, you know, all that good sort of stuff. And it's quite easy for the vehicle because we've got the mobility to do it. We've also got the camo and the view range and the fact that we should outspot quite a few of the enemy before we get to them as well. But because of those shots we took from the 1375, we're a one-shot for pretty much everything, which makes this game very, very awkward. And one misstep means that we are going to die. And a lot of the time, it will be whoever shoots first. Now, the problem is that because the gun isn't the best at firing on the move, and we do have to take that a little bit longer to aim, if we catch out the Mantis and we fire at the Mantis and we just bounce, like can happen quite often with a Mantis, he's got an autoloader to be able to just dish out the shots. If we get after the SFAC, there's every likelihood, again with his double barrel, he will reload faster than us and shut us down, which is awkward. But we have got ourselves into a position to get this M44 out. We low roll twice, which means we can't kill this dude, meaning it's going to take a 3rd shell. Now, I could have loaded HE, and I probably, actually, in retrospect, could have loaded HE for both the M44 and this Super Hellcat, because the HE might have actually penned the Super Hellkitty as well, but I just didn't want to take the risk. And we're up to 8 kills. We managed to snap the shot into the Super Hellcat there, putting him down to 394 hit points, and I can't really go back up onto this ledge, because he's just ready. And again, because I'm in that position where I am a one-shot for him, yeah, that's going to be awkward, and he will probably just end up killing us. And we're on for a good game so far. I don't want that to happen. So we're going to use our mobility once again to get away. Because again, my thoughts are there is a Mantis, which is very mobile, and an SFAC 105 knocking around somewhere. We have absolutely no idea where they are. And the thing when you're in this sort of situation is you cannot hang around in one position for too long. If you hang around in one position for too long, the enemy might get to you, outnumber you very quickly, and you'll die. And naturally, again, being in a position like we are here in the Black Diamond, where we're a one-shot for everything, we don't want that. So because the SFAC and the Mantis, I figured might be going towards my cap area, although who knows, because with me getting spotted towards their cap, they might have ended up coming back towards their cap area to try and get me. But the other thought in my mind was maybe, with me getting spotted after their Hellcat and M44, that they might try and come to my cap and try and pressure the cap. And they might not have expected me to run away all the way to my cap area to catch them out. So we're going to go on top of the hill to try and clear out the spot along the 3 line to see if they are actually along here. But spoilers, they're not. So we haven't found the SFAC or the Mantis. It feels like we're playing hide and seek right now, which is quite awkward. And again, the first one to react if we find someone is the one that's going to win this fight, which is, yeah, it's an awkward cat and mouse game that we're playing right now. And you're just playing 4D chess thinking, well, if I go here, I might be safe, but I might also get caught out from that position over there. So it's really awkward, which is why I didn't go through the center of the map. So the reason I'm taking this route is that I could end up bumping into someone and getting the drop on them going this way. But I figured if I went directly through the center of the map, there's a likelihood I might be able to get caught out from the bridge. I might get caught out from the area around D6 on the bottom. There could be someone up on this little hill here which could catch me out and get shot at me, and I'd be awkward to get shots at them. It's one of those things that you've really got to think about when you're going for these kinds of plays. And so we haven't found anyone. I did crest that ridge again to see if there was anyone in the middle area or on the bridge, because I should have been able to spot them, but I couldn't do it. So I'm starting to figure, okay, that Hellcat's probably still on the hill area, so I need to try and get in a position where I can get a shot towards the hill, spot it, but also get myself safe if I was to get spotted myself. So I'm trying to spot the hill. I'm not actually seeing anyone, though, so I was thinking, okay, maybe he's not up on top of the hill here. Maybe he's still around the corner, but there we go. We find that Hellcat. We aim the shot up, put the shot into the Hellcat, put him down to a one-shot, and we make a mistake. I think he's not going to come back for me, right? After taking that hit, I thought he was backing all the way off, but in fact, he decided to come straight back over, hit us on the move as he poked over the ridge, and shut us down. And we finished with a close defeat, the 8 kills, 6,013 damage, 1,077 assistance damage, the Devastator, the Radley Walters, the High Caliber, the Top Gun, the Scooch's Medal, with that first class for the 1462 base XP. Really great game there for the Black Diamond, just a sad, sad result. And I did watch the replay after, and we were playing hide and seek. The SFAT 105 was up there with the Super Hellcat, and the Mantis was actually on the bridge. So that's the Black Diamond. So as always, everybody, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time.
A great success!